Hello, beloved. It's me, James, and here in the United States, it's a week after our election. And I've talked to a lot of people since that time in a variety of ways. Some people are overwhelmingly delighted. And this is probably not a video for you. You're welcome to stay if you want. This is for you if you're feeling betrayed, hurt, overwhelmed, disbelieving, uncertain, afraid. I've probably listed all of those. First, I want you to sit with me for just a moment and breathe. Catch your breath and bring yourself back to this moment. Your mind might be rushing ahead, concerned about what the future holds for you, for your daughters, for young women you know, for immigrants, for Black, Indigenous, people of color, for the LGBTQIA plus community. You may be feeling overwhelmed by those feelings. And your feelings are valid. They're real for you right now. And as they wash over you again and again, it makes it hard to engage, sometimes with the daily tasks that are in front of you. Makes it hard to look at the world and see the same world that you thought you went to sleep with or went to sleep on a week ago today, on election day. The world just looks a little different. It feels like the story you've been telling yourself, the normal life that you had, it's not quite panning out. I want to tell you something I say every week, and I want you to hear these words. You are infinitely precious and unconditionally loved for the gift you already are. You are a gift. And you're a gift if you're a part of any of the communities of folks I mentioned to begin with, the Black, Indigenous, people of color, the LGBTQIA plus community, immigrants, whether documented or undocumented, you matter. You are a gift. You may feel like a plurality of people in this nation have said something other than that. And perhaps knowingly or unknowingly they did. But all you can be responsible for now is yourself. And what you can do, what is yours to do? I asked this question. I had spent some time away with Richard Rohr and other leaders, other faith leaders of the contemplative movement from the Center of Action and Contemplation, me and a number of other folks. And it was interesting. Richard, in a video, had talked about at the end of his life, St. Francis said to the other friars, the other Franciscans, I have done what is mine to do. Now you must do what is yours to do. And I asked the question, what is ours to do? What can we do to stand up for one another and with one another? How can we be there for each other in the midst of all of this? And especially with these overwhelming feelings and uncertainty. Now more than ever, we have to figure out what it is that is ours to do and to be about doing it. I wanted to share a poem with you today. This is unusual. I don't usually share a poem, but one of my favorite modern poets I get her email. I get her an email from her every day. Lots of people do. Of her poetry. Her name is Rosemary Watola Traumer. You could find her by Googling if you want to. Rosemary is spelled Rosemerry, and her last name, Traumer, is Trommer, and you could find her online and subscribe to her beautiful poems. But this is one that I found especially meaning in challenging times like this one. Listen to these words, savor these words with me, if you will. These are her words, not mine, and I give her full credit. They are powerful words. So I can't save the world, can't even save myself, can't wrap my arms around every frightened child, can't foster peace among nations, can't bring love to all who feel unlovable. So I practice opening my heart right here in this room and being gentle with my insufficiency. I practice walking down the street heart first. And if it is insufficient to share love, I will practice loving anyway. I want to converse about truth, about trust. I want to invite compassion into every interaction. One willing heart can't stop a war. One willing heart can't feed all the hungry. And sometimes daunted by a task too big, I tell myself, what's the use of trying? But today the invitation is clear. To be ridiculously courageous in love. To open the heart like a lilac in May, knowing freeze is possible, and opening anyway. To take love seriously, to give love wildly, to race up to the world as if I were a puppy, adoring and unjaded, stumbling on my own exuberance, to feel the shock of indifference, of anger, of cruelty, of fear, and stay open, to love as if it matters, as if the world depends on it. I'm not from a marginalized community. Those words feel like empowerment and energy and encouragement for me to stand and to love even in the face of cruelty. But if you are a person from one of the marginalized communities, the folks that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, folks who were perhaps in our nation, in this place, feeling like you were beginning to be seen and heard and valued by the people as a whole, only to have that repudiated by last week's election. I don't know how you face those challenges ahead. If you're a young woman and you are being told that your body is not yours to make choices about. If you are a Black person being told that your life really doesn't matter, it doesn't seem to anyway. If you're an Indigenous person who has never seemed to matter when we white folk landed on this continent, all people of color who seem to be judged and devalued. If you're one of those folks, members of that community, if you are a member of the LGBTQIA plus community and you are fearful, I don't have easy words for you. I only intend to let this poem I read to you guide my own actions as a member of the privileged. I will do everything in my power to love and stand with you and stand up for you. And I invite my other folks who are part of that with me to stand up as well. I don't know how there's no easy way for me to offer you peace. I invite you to take a moment to step back, to catch your breath, to do what you can, and to call on those of us who love you and care about you, to call upon us and remind us of our responsibility to love, because you are infinitely precious. You are unconditionally loved. You are a gift for who you already are right this very moment and who you're discovering yourself to be. Be that person because we need you to be that person. Be who you are because it's a true gift. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. As you feel a nation push back toward you, a plurality of us said that. Please know you do matter. You are loved. And beyond that, do catch your breath. In the midst of all of this, I'm not sure what other words of wisdom I can say. I believe in a God who protects us from nothing and yet sustains us in everything. Words of one of my very favorite teachers, Dr. James Finley. God will sustain us somehow in the midst of crisis and uncertainty. So hang in there, dear sisters and brothers, and those who identify somewhere in between or neither. Whoever you are, wherever you are, you matter. Until the next time.